For most of the 20th century, the world was not divided by borders. It was divided by ideas. On one side stood communism. On the other side stood capitalism. Communism promised a world without rich and poor, a world where land, factories, and wealth belonged to everyone, a world where the state controlled the economy in the name of equality. Capitalism promised something very different: private property, free markets, competition, profit. After the Russian Revolution of 1917, communism spread fast. After World War II, it controlled nearly half of humanity. The Soviet Union became the symbol of the system. Strong army, nuclear weapons, global influence. For decades, the world watched a silent war. The Cold War. Two systems, two futures. Only one could survive. From the outside, the Soviet Union looked powerful, but inside, the system was struggling. In a communist economy, the government decided everything: what to produce, how much to produce, at what price. There was no competition, no incentive to improve. Factories produced goods, but not quality. Workers had jobs, but not motivation. Innovation slowed down. People waited in long lines for basic needs. Meanwhile, the capitalist world was changing rapidly. New technologies, new businesses, rising living standards. Soviet citizens could see this contrast, and slowly belief began to fade. By the 1980s, the Soviet economy was exhausted. Military spending was high, oil prices fell, corruption grew. The system was no longer delivering its promises. In 1985, Mikhail Gorbachev came to power. He did not want to destroy communism. He wanted to save it. He introduced perestroika to reform the economy and glasnost to allow openness and criticism. But once people began to speak freely, they began to question everything. Fear disappeared. Control weakened. Across Eastern Europe, communist governments collapsed one by one. In 1989, the Berlin Wall fell. By 1991, the Soviet Union itself was falling apart. Republics demanded independence. The economy was in crisis. In December 1991, the Soviet Union officially dissolved. Without a global war, without an invading army, a superpower collapsed from within. Communism, as a global system, was finished. After 1991, the world entered a new era. For the first time, there was no ideological rival to capitalism. Markets opened, trade expanded, globalization accelerated. Former communist nations privatized industries. Foreign investment flooded in. Institutions like the IMF and World Bank gained influence. Capitalism promised growth, efficiency, and opportunity. In many ways, it delivered, but it also created new problems. Wealth became concentrated. Inequality increased. Economic crises spread across borders. Still, capitalism remained the only system in power, not because it was perfect, but because there was no alternative left. The impact of 1991 was not the same everywhere. In India, 1991 became a turning point. Facing a severe economic crisis, India opened its economy. Markets reformed. Private companies expanded. This decision reshaped India's future. In China, the path was different. Politically communist, economically capitalist. China combined state control with market forces and rose faster than anyone expected. Today's world is shaped by these choices. The fall of communism did not end history. It changed its direction. Capitalism became dominant, but its future remains uncertain. Because systems rise, systems fall, and history has never chosen a final winner. 1991 did not prove that capitalism is perfect. It proved that when an idea stops evolving, it collapses. And the real lesson of 1991 is not about victory. It is about survival.